For us, the console is vital and central to our experience. We heard you. A console should be designed and built and optimized for one thing and one thing only: gaming.
This is Axiom, aka Ryofu, and this is the Gaming Harbinger. Ladies and gentlemen, E3 is over. I personally feel like everyone saw at least one thing this year that excited them. And to be honest, that's what it's about. Even though the dust has long settled, these are the things I love talking about. So that's why I'm still making videos on these conferences, because it's fun and gamers have plenty of things to be excited for. Today we are going to talk about the Microsoft conference that happened on June 9th, 2019. Please consider joining this team if you haven't already. We talk about video games and anime. Sometimes we have lengthy think pieces. Sometimes it's just me sharing my thoughts on a subject. But whatever it is, we will always keep it entertaining, baby. Without further ado, let's get into this. Microsoft had a better conference than they've had in recent memory. While last year's quote-unquote surprises were more of them listing a list of acquired companies. That being said, I thought it was great. And just to interject further, Microsoft needed to acknowledge that they were gonna put more effort into their exclusives. This is what needed to happen. So that's why I'm cool with how last year played out. With that being said, the next E3s after this, and of course that's if we have them, but the next E3s after this, we're going to need to see multiple exclusives from Microsoft. They don't have to be AAA, but they need to be good. Anyways, I feel this E3 showed some new, exciting things while showing some things that, were expected. If you're quick to say Microsoft only showed multiplats, they actually discussed a few games that were new exclusives, like Phantasy Star Online 2. I have to slap an asterisk on that because it's an exclusive for the West. Now, granted, this game has been out for a while, and it was released in Japan on the PS4 and the Vita, but you get what I'm saying. Here, it's new to us, and it's releasing on the Xbox. Also, Psychonauts 2, Battletoads, Crossfire X. Again, Crossfire X, I have to put a little asterisk on that bad boy, because it's been on PC for a minute, and it is being released for the first time on a console, and that console is going to be the Xbox. They also talked about a new IP, Bleeding Edge, which, yes, these games are not God of War or Spider-Man. I think they are moving in the right direction, though. They also had a crap ton of DLC and expansions for exclusives like Forza, Ori, and State of Decay 2. Now, if you feel like none of these games interest you in the slightest, that's a completely different conversation. Microsoft has been hustling to redeem their name ever since the 2013 reveal. This is by no means MS trying to catch up. That ship has sailed. They just want to redeem themselves in the consumer's eyes. That's what this is about. To win them over again. And I have to give credit where credit is due. They started off the conference with Outer Worlds, which actually looks fantastic. It may be a multiplat, but Outer Worlds looks very Fallout-y, and I can't wait to play it. One thing to note, though, is since Obsidian was acquired by Microsoft, if this does well enough and there's a sequel, does that mean only Xbox is getting the sequel? Next was Bleeding Edge. The game Ninja Theory had actually been cultivating for several years. And this will be their first Xbox exclusive. Now, I gotta keep it real. Art styles like this are a huge hit and miss for me. It's just huge. Like, sometimes it's just totally not for me, and other times it'll win me over, like a Borderlands. I would say this type of game, aka Overwatch, isn't a genre I would typically play, but it looks interesting. And while it will be competing with similar style games, all of these games have been out for a minute. This is a perfect time for a game like this to come out and have a fighting chance. The Blair Witch game was a surprise, I think, pretty much for everyone, and it looks pretty cool. Cyberpunk looks spectacular, and I can't wait to play it. I can already tell the voice acting, the dialogue in the game will be very visceral. Oh yeah, and this happened.
Keanu Reeves.
This took everyone by surprise. I was pretty floored. And then
is really going to be breathtaking. You're breathtaking. You're all breathtaking.
the internet loved this. That was such a cool thing though, and very unexpected. Kind of like that movie Always Be My Maybe, just a complete sneak attack out of nowhere. Great movie, by the way. Anyways, this segment, a lot of people feel like this won E3, or Keanu won E3, however you want to look at it. Next, Microsoft showed a slew of indie titles that will all be released on Xbox Game Pass. I currently do not have Game Pass, but I have stated countless times it's an exceptional deal, and jumping on these indies like Microsoft did was a smart move. They also announced games like Metro Exodus releasing to Game Pass. And they also announced that Xbox Game Pass Ultimate will provide you with Xbox Live Gold for console and PC, Game Pass for console and PC, all for $15. That is really not a bad deal. Microsoft also said they're having an E3 special where you could pick this up for the first month for only $1. Double Fine has been officially acquired by Microsoft. Yay! I actually enjoyed this brief interaction.
So excited to be joining Xbox Game Studios, and I'm here to personally reassure you, Matt. Whatever you need from Double Fine, we'll make for you. Halo stuff, Forza stuff, Excel stuff, whatever you want, we are there.
Tim, we just want you to make great games.
Oh, that's such a relief because I was totally lying.
Shout out to Tim Schafer. Good for him. Good for Double Fine. That's cool. Gears 5 had a trippy clip that ended with an announcement of a new game mode for Gears, which looks very interesting. Overall, I was oddly pleased with Gears 4, but I will say this, Gears has played the last two games very safe. They have to take risks. They need to change the game mechanics around a bit. I am at least happy that this Gears seems to have some horror elements in it. Overall, I'm optimistic and will be purchasing this. Microsoft would like to proudly announce the sequel to the Elite controller because $150 just wasn't enough. Now you can pay $179.99 and you will transcend video games. You will now have a controller that has an app. This is the future. We will also give 40 delicious hours of rechargeable battery goodness. Okay, I'm done. I'm over it. Look, This controller most certainly has some cool new features. I might actually consider getting one since I never got around to getting the original, so, yeah. Dying Light is one of my top 5 games of this generation. I am aware there are games much better than this. This game and Monster Hunter are the 2 games I put the most hours in this generation. Keep in mind, I don't think it's better than The Witcher 3 or Persona 5, but my gameplay hours speak volumes for Monster Hunter and Dying Light. They eclipse, Witcher 3 and Persona 5. That's what it is. That says a lot. Anyways, Dying Light has a loyal fan base, and I cannot wait for this game to release in spring 2020 with the other 50 games coming out then. Yeesh. So Forza Horizon 4 DLC looks freaking adorable. That's right, I said it, judge me all you want. And this was one of the few games that showed in-game footage. Ha! That's on you guys. I'm just playing. Lighten up, lighten up. Anyways, I had to point that out because a lot of people were complaining that they didn't see in-game graphics. Yay, there's your in-game graphics, yay! And that car made out of Legos. Damn. A round of applause for the poor souls that put that together. And this DLC was released on June 13th. Next, we have a new DLC expansion for State of Decay 2. I enjoyed State of Decay 2. I think people who were disappointed in Microsoft's 2018 exclusives forget that State of Decay 2 is a AA game and not on the same level as a Sea of Thieves or Crackdown 3. While I get it's not mind-blowing or it's not a masterpiece, I think the concepts and gameplay mechanics in State of Decay 2 have a lot of potential. Imagine a Dying Light with an intricate base building and community mechanics. I would die. I would love that shit. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna have to apologize in advance for how dramatic the next 5 minutes are gonna sound. There was a game that shocked the shit out of me. I was shocked by Keanu. Please believe. But when you have completely given up and nearly forgotten a game, and then you see it on that E3 screen, coming to the West. Let me put this another way. People screamed and their eyes popped out of their socket when Mr. Reeves walked out. That was most people at E3. But there's another demographic. Phantasy Star fans were crying. Don't believe me? Look at this. Everyone is talking about being so emotional and being on the verge of tears, man. Sega. Look what you did. We are an emotional wreck because of you. Okay, time for my Phantasy Star Online 2 story. Okay, so when I first heard about this game many years ago, I heard it was coming to the Vita. And by the way, just for clarification, this was before I had a PlayStation 4. Now I have a PlayStation 4. But I was very intrigued by this concept, and I decided to buy the Vita for Phantasy Star and for Gravity Rush. Obviously, I found other games like the entire Danganronpa catalog and Freedom Wars that rocked my face off. But Phantasy Star Online 2 never came to the West. It's fair to say that I have been waiting for this game since 2014. I lost hope, man. I lost hope 3 years ago. Seeing this game release to the West exclusively on Xbox and PC is effing incredible. I know some of you tools will say, "You're this excited about a free-to-play game?" Listen. I don't know how much different this game is to Phantasy Star Universe or to Phantasy Star Online. I don't know how freaking amazing or not amazing it is. But anyways, no one would call Apex Legends a crappy game. But you're missing the point if you think it's about the quality or how amazing the game will be. I just find the whole thing incredible because the game was forgotten. This was a real surprise. I cannot be happier. Thank you, Sega. Thank you, Microsoft.
Those of you who have played Phantasy Star know that this game had influenced many of the most popular games today. So with great delight, we welcome Sega back to our stage and Phantasy Star back on Xbox.
Next, we have Crossfire X, another free-to-play game that has a disgustingly 650 million PC fan base. I have to be honest, I've never heard of this game, but it's huge in China and Korea. The game has grossed 10.8 billion in revenue as of 2018. That just makes me want to throw up. And not because of the game being good or bad, but just that much money, that's ridiculous. I'm curious about the game though. I'm curious. I'll check it out. Next, we have Tales of Arise. You do realize it's been a decade since the last Tales game came to the Xbox, right? This definitely is a sign that Microsoft is doing what they can to get more weeb games to the Xbox. I'm glad. And this new Tales game looks fantastic. Now, time for me to say something controversial. I have been saying for 3 or 4 years now, people need to take the torch from Final Fantasy and pass it to Persona or the Tales series. I like Persona more, but Tales has been pumping out games. I wouldn't be mad if it went to Tales, if they gave that to Tales, if they gave the torch to them. And that's not me dissing on Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy had an amazing run. Let someone else get that shine now. Of course, with that being said, Final Fantasy VII Remake does look like fire. I have to be honest. And that's coming from a Final Fantasy VI fan, by the way. Anyways, we got some more footage of Borderlands 3, which is a game that is a day one purchase for me. I was super excited when the first reveal happened for the game, and I love the fact that they said, hey, we're not going to do the loot box thing. That's just not what Borderlands is. Of course, there will be paid DLC and stuff like that, but no EA type of loot boxes, for lack of a better term. The Commander Lilith and the Fight for Sanctuary expansion will be released for free for Handsome Jack Collection. And I said that like it will be releasing, but actually it's already out, so you can download that now for free. That's pretty awesome. And this will set the stage for Borderlands 3. So awesome, so awesome. And then we have Elden Ring, which most of you are aware this was leaked out early, unfortunately, because this would have been shocking to see like on the E3 setup. But it's a collaboration between From Software and George R.R. Martin. This definitely has my curiosity, and I am curious just how much Martin's influence will shine through this. Should be fascinating. I look forward to this in, oh shit, they didn't really say. If there is anything, and I mean anything, that was lacking at this conference, is that we did not get much as far as xCloud or the next Xbox. While they did tell us things like,
It's 4 times more powerful than the Xbox One X. We're leveraging high bandwidth GDDR6 to ensure that we're getting the best performance possible.
it's going to usher in resolution and frame rates that we've never seen before. Like, never seen before.
We're looking at frame rates up to 120 frames per second.
8K capability, variable refresh rate.
This really didn't give us much to go off of. In fact, I really wish this
We're looking at frame rates up to 120 frames per second.
was never uttered. If they are right about this, which I am a bit skeptical, the payoff won't be worth it. And if they never achieve this, this whole conference of 2019 will not be immortalized by a charming Keanu. It will be 120 frames per second meme. That's what this is. You know what I'm talking about. You know I'm telling the truth. Anyways, I am in the minority and wanted a deeper dive on xCloud and the next Xbox. But I think in the grand scheme of things, this was the right move. Most people did not want to hear about 2 or 3 years from now. They wanted to hear about new games. That is exactly what they got. Microsoft delivered. The last and final thing mentioned at E3 was Halo Infinite. They showed us a brief trailer that didn't tell us much. And, however, saying that Halo Infinite would launch with the console was a big deal. At first, I misunderstood and took this to mean, oh shit, we're going to pay whatever much for the system and then we're just going to get the game. No, I just think they mean it's going to be, a launch game, which is cool. This is what they need. They do need this. This is important. They need a system seller that will push people to play the next, the next Xbox, the next Halo. They need to be working together. The trailer was a game engine footage, but I'm not really surprised by this. It would have been nice to have some gameplay footage, but it seems like it was intentional this E3 to show just cutscenes. This was not an accident, but it was exciting to hear there will at least be one system seller launching with the Scarlet. I know I am hella late, but I really had a lot, as you can tell, that I wanted to share and talk about. I know a few people that don't even care or have any interest in E3 streams, but they watch my videos. So why not provide something that covers a lot of the information provided by E3, right? Anyways, I appreciate you guys for checking out the video. The next video will be the Square Enix conference, so please look forward to that. Until next time, guys, I will see you in the next video.